Welcome in, everybody. 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. It is the week of Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is having themselves a wonderful November. I know in our industry right now, things are very up and down. Hopefully, as things mellow out here towards the end of the year, we can see an improvement across the board and things like that. For now, I want to take advantage of this Thanksgiving week to express some gratitude, some things that I am thankful for here. And I think you should do the same. I think it's always a wonderful exercise, and it doesn't have to just be this week. You should do it. I try to do it weekly, where I just think to myself, damn, so glad this is the case. I'm so thankful this has happened. Whatever it is, right? Find ways to enjoy all of it. So, number one for me, it comes down to the clients and partners that we work with. None of what we do would be possible without them. And I am so fortunate to have a group of dedicated clients, dealers, partners who really want to improve and really want to see things be better, and trust in the work that we're all doing together, and allow us to do our job while supporting them doing theirs. And that's really what CarBiz has become. CarBiz Done Better is really, it's a resource company. It's here to provide resources to clients for things that they need. Anything, and I've talked about it on previous episodes of the show, anything that people want from us is created. That is how products get created in our business, period. From the very beginning, the first gig we ever took was out of the necessity of the client. It took us a little bit of moving around to adjust and figure out how we wanted to present, but we had a clear and present idea. They delivered, they were into it, we moved. The next iteration, as we get into videos, we get into vendor management, things of that nature, then the videos change, then that changes, right? Then it was an audio based sort of delivery system. And then after that, you went into a video system because a client said, hey, wouldn't it just be easier, instead of you doing audio, having me pull up spreadsheets, you just made me a video? Yeah, it would be. Then that is born, right? Our social media product, born from client desire. Our CRM product, born from client desire. So it just, that's how these things sort of stack up. So for me, I couldn't do any of this without the dealers, partners, clients that we have. So that's the first one. Second one is the people that I work with. Okay, whether that's my wife, whether that's my best friend of 30 years, whether that's someone new, it doesn't matter. The people who come into our organization is what makes me happy to grow. The other day, there were multiple calls happening in my organization, our organization, that didn't involve me, which may not sound like a big deal, but to a control freak like me, to someone who 5 years ago I would have told you I'd never let anyone talk to my clients but me. I'd have to be standing there next to him as a chaperone, basically. That's evolved as I start to trust the people I work with, right? And we don't bring them in here willy nilly. We bring them in here as typically referrals of other people or something that I've been watching on my own. Our social product, Jeff Hunter, and our CRM product with Josh Sack, those are people that I was watching well before we had those conversations. And so when they become part of the team, it's really amazing. We're out of Being Social. I made a joke to Bill Schomburg. We were heading out to dinner the night before Being Social, and I said, I got to take my growing empire out to dinner. And he laughed and I laughed. And as I walked away, I thought, oh, it's not wrong. I mean, it's a joke in the word of empire, but it isn't in the way that we have been growing. We have been very consistent, and it's really amplified the last 2.5 years, 3 years. Whereas the first 8 were not like that. They were very pinned up. They were very together. But again, none of that's possible without the team and people we surround ourselves with. I mean, we just hired someone new to start helping us out on the social data side. And even that small thing, it's the tiniest of hires. We're talking like an 8 hour a month gig. If the person was handpicked, the person was specific, because my hope for this individual is that there'll be hope and more work for them throughout the organization as they grow through the data part. So anyways, the team of people that I work with is amazing. It's amazing, as well as, and I said it in the open with the vendor part. I didn't say vendors in the client partner piece. There are vendors along the way that have been nothing but absolutely great to deal with. There's no doubt about it. So they would fall into the team aspect of that for sure. As a human, I would tell you that the one thing that I am eternally grateful for and may never stop being grateful for is autonomy. the autonomy to do as I wish on at work, at home. I mean, obviously, I consult my wife. I don't want to make it sound like that, but what I mean is the autonomy to be me. Um, it's something that you have to. Autonomy helps you deal with a lot of different things in a way that other people can't. And what I mean by that is, if you have to be somewhere for work and you have to be there 40 hours a week, you have to do this, do that. You don't really have the autonomy to do as when you want, as you want. And for me, part of being autonomous means that I can make a decision. It's why I make a terrible partner. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I had this discussion with friends of ours from the being social side. I'm a terrible partner because I have such a high level of expectation for whatever I'm doing, then add on myself, then add on other people. No one has a chance to live up to that. People say, well, then why have it? Well, because I don't have another way to operate. I don't have a second gear. I don't know another direction. So for me, that is the direction. That is where I go with it. And how do I get there? Well, I get there by always having my foot down on the gas and making sure and not letting the smallest of details get past me if I can all help it, right? So again, being autonomous is something that it was born into me very early. My parents were the opposite of helicopter parents, but they were very involved. And what I mean by that is they were like, look, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to go through life, but we want you to go through them. There's a couple things you should be kind to people, don't be an asshole, and don't be in the police blotter. Those were kind of the be kind, don't be an asshole, no police blotter. It's kind of easy, right? You're like, okay, that's not that hard to figure out, is it? So that was the basics of how I was able to grow up, which allowed me to go and move in a lot of different ways. And I tried to be kind. I tried never to be an asshole, and I didn't get in trouble. So under those parameters, I think I did well. And I think I did well because of the autonomy my parents offered. And Grant, my parents both worked their asses off, so they weren't around. And that's why I think they had to go with the autonomy model for us kids and entrust us to each other and to ourselves because they really didn't have much choice in the matter. But I think it really set us up well ahead of our time to be respectful of all of those things. And as an adult, it's helped me tremendously beat things like many addictions that I faced in my life. Autonomy has definitely helped me with that. Patrick Moore knows what I'm talking about there. Um, and so that autonomy now in business, it's insane to be able to make decisions for the company. And I try to be democratic in most cases. I do. As a matter of fact, there have been moments where I brought things to my team and I've been outvoted, and I've wanted to say I don't care, I'm going to do it, but ultimately I don't, um, because I do care, because I do want and value everyone's opinion. And at times it may not feel like it because I move fast, I think fast, I decide even faster, um, but it's there. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of wanting to keep others involved with me. And that kind of brings me to my last point. My last thankfulness is the support, mainly the support of my wife, which is someone that without her, none of it's possible to even have dealers, partners, or anything. Because from basically within the moments we met, this was someone who was going to change the trajectory of my life, and she did that. She does that regularly, and it allows me to be all of the things that I just mentioned to you. It allows me to be autonomous because she is great and allows me to be me. It allows me to have a great team, pick a great team, know what a great team looks like because of her, be a much better leader because of her, right? That level of support, um, for me is the difference maker. And again, all the way up to the number one thing I said to you, it allows her support allows me to have even taken the chance to have started this company going on almost 12 years ago. It would have been just about 12 years ago. We were having these discussions where I was saying, look, I know we have a fun gig. I know it's easy, but I hate it. I know it makes good money, but I hate it. I know no one would ever notice us as a satellite employee, but I hate it. And so there were just pieces that kept stacking up, and her support is what led us to Carbit. So the logo over here, then it led us to this logo, and it led us down the road of being social and into the CRM world and doing the things that we're doing. And she doesn't like hearing it because she's extremely modest and quiet for who she is. But the reality is, not one thing, much like the butterfly effect, would be possible without the intervention of that woman. So when I talk about support, that's what I mean. I've talked about the support of my parents and autonomy all those things lead up to and revolve around the support of my wife. So I think a lot of you can understand that. Partners are wonderful in that way. And so that's what I'll leave you with. Go into your week, enjoy it, sit with family, friends, talk about it. And remember that it is okay to be thankful and grateful outside of this week. Thank you so much, my friends. Next week on the show, we're going to have some old school fun, and you're not going to want to miss it. Thanks a lot. We'll see you to start December.